So, from this to this, one of the most impactful things I ever done for my health was the simple act of switching up which oil I use. This is a masterclass of just about everything that I know about olive oil throughout these 4 incredible years of journey towards better health. This video will cover olive oil types, stages of harvest, location of harvest, where to shop, storage conditions, oil spray types, what to avoid, what terms you should be familiar with when you go shopping, such as early harvest, cold press, first press, late harvest, and just the general things you should know when you go outside shopping. Branching off from the name that is olive oil, there are 2 main grades of products: the virgin olive oils and the pomace variants. Let's focus on the virgin side first, as that is the phase both oils go through initially. Virgin olive oils are a pure mechanical process, low in heat and absolutely no chemicals. EVOO, or extra virgin olive oil, and virgin olive oil, also known as VOO, are both made from a similar process. The separation between the 2 grades of oil boils down to 2 simple things: defects and free oleic acid concentration. Defects are quite easily explained. It is the experienced traits of an olive oil, whether that be taste or smell. So an olive oil with a little bit of defects might have a slightly weirder taste or a smell that is slightly off. The elephant inside the room right now, what everybody should be wondering, is what the hell are free oleic acids or free fatty acids? This thing was quite confusing for me initially as well. So in simple terms, free fatty acids are components of a fatty acid which is broken out of the fatty chain, allowing it to be freely floating around within the oil. To even simplify that to a simpler sentence, the more free fatty acids, and by that I mean the molecules that are floating about unchained, the worse is the product. Higher free fatty acids increases oxidation, and the worse the quality of the olive oil is. The higher the free fatty acids, the worse shelf life it has, the lower smoke point it has, and the less of the health benefits you will get from it. The lower the fatty acids, the higher the smoke points, and the better health benefits you receive from it. The things that actually increase free fatty acids inside the oil includes poor manufacturing, insect infections, and poor harvesting methods. For example, they might just collect the olives and just leave it unprocessed for a long while. That can affect the quality quite a bit. EVOO, or extra virgin olive oil, is classified with a concentration of free fatty acids of less than 0.8% with no defects in smell or taste. Virgin olive oil is a step down from that, with a free fatty acids of no more than 2%, with some smell or taste defects. In general, the extra virgin will have a stronger flavor, a higher price, while just the virgin olive oil by itself will have more of a milder taste and a bit cheaper in price. To sum it all up between the extra virgin and virgin, extra virgin olive oil will be the best choice for both cooking and salad dressing if you're able to afford it. So here comes the junk oil. Pomace oil, literally meaning solid waste obtained by processing fruits or vegetable waste, is literally the oil made from the leftovers of virgin processing and with a free fatty acid concentration of above 2%. There are 2 types of pomace olive oil: crude pomace oil and refined olive pomace oil. The crude version is not edible, while the refined version is supposed to. Pomace oil is heated from 60 to 9 degrees because if it goes any higher than that, it would do something called a PAHS, which is highly carcinogenic and mutagenic. The oil also undergoes chemical processing as well. The most common chemical solvent that they use is something called hexane, a product produced using natural gas and crude oil. This is the exact same stuff inside of vegetable oil, which carries toxic effects on your nervous system, kidneys, liver, and reproductive organs. Refined oils are bleached of its natural color and deodorized, causing it to have a milder taste. Refined palm oil is commonly mixed in with virgin olive oils and sold on the supermarkets. Let's use this bottle as an example. It's a Coles brand and it says extra virgin olive oil on the front. But wait, let's have a look at the product's details. Blended mix of refined and extra virgin olive oil. So even if it says extra virgin olive oil on the front cover, check the back. Always check the label before you buy, because these days they can be putting anything in there.
And I just realized I forgot a major section, so here we go.
Something I definitely missed while in the video initially is something called pure olive oil. It sounds so clean, doesn't it? So amazing, this natural, amazing pure thing. You don't see it that often in like this kind of bottle format, and it's kind of more common for supplements. So this is from iHerb, and this is a Taka. And you can see in the other ingredient lists, you can see something called pure olive oil. So this kind of stuff. And this is just another version of refined oil. I don't know why they call it pure, but it has a free oleic acid measuring between 3 to 4%. It uses chemical processing and heat treatment. So yes, another refined oil. Just want to shove this inside the video right now so you guys know. In my opinion, I would avoid using refined oils if you want the health benefits of the regular virgin olive oil or the extra virgin stuff. I would place these in the same categories as vegetable oil, and I don't think they have any nutritional values. However, that said, a lot of people that I know myself just hate the taste of extra virgin olive oil. So if you actually am deciding in between vegetable oil, such as cottonseed oil, canola, or sunflower, and just refined olive oil, and you're comparing these two, I would probably pick the refined olive oil as a better choice. But before making that decision, I would highly recommend trying to use butter as your main cooking oil to see how it goes, because a lot of those people that hate the olive oil for taste do actually quite enjoy using butter inside the cooking, and butter is actually good for you. Just make sure it's grass fed and grass finished. In summary for this section, stick with extra virgin olive oil and check the labels if you want the health benefits. Things like natural on the label is literally marketing terms solely. What is the alternative? Artificial olives? Okay, that might be coming up. Going towards the next part, I want to tell you all about marketing labels. Early harvest, first press, classic, light, mellow, cold press. These are all the terms you've seen if you've done any shopping for olive oil inside the supermarket stores. In general words though, such as classic or light, are generally targeted towards newer shoppers of this area and will not show up if you buy it from a family-owned business or an independent local farmer. If you want to know which of these is the best for your health, the answer is first harvest extra virgin olive oil, preferably organic. This is currently the only kind of olive oil that I use for myself, whether that be cooking or drinking. When I drink it, I can actually feel the neurons inside my head jump a little. Before you look into this oil, I should warn you that these things come for a pretty hefty penny if you want to buy it from the supermarkets. This is not something I would ever buy from the supermarkets myself. There will be a section in this video where I separate differences between buying from a supermarket, local farmer, small businesses, or overseas later. But for now, just know the early harvest stuff have a higher antioxidants, polyphenols, vitamins, especially vitamin E, more aroma, and has a more fruity flavor attached to it. Due to the higher concentration of polyphenols, they typically have a longer shelf life. Polyphenol concentration in olives across the life cycle is somewhat inverse U-shaped. It increases from the start, increasing, and after somewhat hitting a peak inside the cycle of harvest, the polyphenol inside the olives just drop off a cliff. In addition to having more of a stable shelf life, these oils can also deal with higher temperatures as well, as they carry less free fatty acids. Okay, next up, robust, classic, and mellow. What do any of these terms mean? These refer to the strength of the olive flavor inside the oil. Mellow, for example, can mean it's a mix of virgin and refined oil, or it could be a late harvest, meaning it has a more mellow flavor and less health benefits. A quick walk around the supermarket shows that it's more likely the former. Many of these oils that says is mellow are often quite mixed in with refined oils, so be careful on that. If you're someone that doesn't like the heavy flavor of extra virgin olive oil, I recommend trying to find oil that might be late harvested. Although it's not a term used on labels, contacting the farmers or companies should give you the details that you need. The flavor profile can be influenced by the variety of olives used inside of it as well. Some olive variants, such as Albergina and Castelvetrano, have a more mild and buttery flavor to it, whilst a more robust taste could be something from a Copagani, but I'll save the details about olive types to a section later on. From my personal experience of experimenting with thousands of dollars for olive oil, I want to say these words just mean nothing, especially if you're buying it from the supermarket shelves. Let's just take this one as an example. Cobram Robust Extra Virgin Olive Oil. This is a very popular brand in Australia, and I think it tastes like water. The texture is shallow and the smell is bland. There is no grass taste to it, and there's no tinkle down the back of the throat. Even though it says robust, I honestly cannot taste the difference between it and the mild. Next up is probably the two funniest terms in the market: first press and cold press. These terms are just so meaningless. As part of the regulations for the oil to be considered extra virgin, first press, meaning no additional extractions for heat after the first press, and cold press, not using heat, are basic requirements. This is applied to the standard virgin olive oil as well. Out of all these terms, I say first harvest was probably the only one that played a significant role to the quality of the oil. Again, the thing is expensive, and regular extra virgin olive oil will provide you with plenty of benefits already if sourced correctly and not stored on the shelves for like 2 years before you buy it. Another term you might want to take note of is late harvest. It refers to olives collected in the late stages of the olive season, typically just weeks apart from the early harvest start. They are mild and more suitable for those that are sensitive to the taste of olive oil, but that doesn't mean they're bland at all. Late harvest uses dark colored ripe olives, while the early harvest consists of mainly green early olives. And the standard extra virgin olive oil uses a mix of dark and bright green olives. Just keep in mind that a late harvest will have a lower polyphenol count, but if that is what it takes for you to use olive oil, then that is still a massive improvement from the refined stuff. Plus, you're probably getting it from a local farm in this case, so it's still probably better than anything inside the markets. Okay, so talking about all the early harvest or the different stages of harvest, leads to one important question. What does olive oil even supposed to taste like? That is an amazing question indeed. And here's a short section on testing if your extra virgin olive oil is genuine or not. The process is very simple. So yeah, what you need to do is just have a drink of the oil, either using a spoon or just straight from the bottle. Drink your olive oil. It's good for you. Extra virgin olive oil is extremely flavorful, peppery, fruity, pungent, perhaps even a little bitter or grassy. And when you drink it, you should feel a bit of a tingle or a cough at the back of your throat due to a compound called oleocanthal, which is highly anti-inflammatory. This is just for a little bit of sensation. It doesn't have to be an extreme reaction. If it is bland, no flavor, I would not use it. Again, that is if you care about health. On that topic, I want to sidetrack a bit and talk about oil sprays. Should you use it? Should you not? Alright, the short answer is yes. The longer answer is maybe. Let me explain. There are plenty of olive oil sprays out there, such as this one, for example, that is a pure 100% extra virgin olive oil on the back. Nothing else, just clean olives. And those are fantastic. Use however much you feel comfortable and those will be great. But sometimes though, you do get something along the side. This is a cobram olive oil spray, and in this product there are things called propellants. These group of chemicals typically consist of butane, propane, and isobutane. Let's break this down, and I want to focus on butane here as it is the primary ingredient. For this discussion, I will review this piece of paper. In summary, butane is related to neurological diseases and cardiovascular complications, but only in high dose inhalation. Butane in small quantities, such as in personal care items or even possibly in oil sprays, doesn't appear to have noticeable consequences, at least in humans, so I'll leave that decision for you to make. But I want to play safe and just get the sprays that's 100% olive oil. Also, buying the ones with propellants also means you're only getting like 70% olive oil instead of the full 100%, and it kind of just seems like a waste of money, not a great deal for the money. Next up is also a nice little bit of a softer section, a smaller section I suppose. Does really organic even matter? So here's the thing. Vitamin E and polyphenols are significantly higher in organic versions. If you're looking for the maximum health benefits, I think organic is the way to go. But olives aren't part of the dirty dozen or the clean dozen. But from talking to farmers though, it doesn't seem like they spray it that much anyways. Really, once you are using an extra virgin olive oil already, you are already doing a pretty good job. So look at your budget, see what works for you, go for organic if you can, but just like olive variants, I don't think this is an absolute deal breaker. Next topic, does the location of olives matter? The main producers of olive oil comes around the Mediterranean areas, such as Spain, Italy, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Tunisia, Libya, Jordan, Morocco, Algeria, and Greece. But other areas you may not consider include China, the USA, Argentina, Chile, and Australia. You may have heard that Italy olive oil is the best, or perhaps that Spain has the best of the best. And I'm here to tell you that none of that actually matters. So, don't kill me. If you live in any of those areas that produces olives, buy it locally. That's how you know you get the best stuff. The highest quality stuff rarely leaves the origin of its production, and even if they do get transported out overseas, it can greatly decrease the oil's quality. According to this article, the temperature inside a shipping container can range from -29 degrees Celsius or -21 Fahrenheit to 57 Celsius or 135 Fahrenheit. According to the International Cargo Express in 2024, the time it takes to transport anything by ship from Italy to over, for example, Australia, can take anywhere from 40 to 60 days, and you have no idea what conditions the oils can be stored in after arrival either. Looking at the labels of the olive oil bottles in my supermarket, the average time the bottle has been sitting there is over 1 year since the production. I'd say just get it locally so it's fresh, and you don't have to worry about the transport conditions either. So if you don't live in any of these production countries, try to order it directly from a local business from the producing countries closest to you. So okay, now that I have opened up the rabbit hole, the next section is farmers against supermarkets against small business. Where should you buy your oil? To get this out of the way, first thing, if you live in any of those areas that produces olives locally, then a supermarket should be your absolute last resort. According to Forbes, 80% of Italian olive oil in the market in America is either mixed with imported oils or mixed from oils from different countries or not meeting the free oleic acid requirements. So here's two charts, very interesting two charts. The first one I'll show you are all the locations in Italy that produces olives oil, okay? And the next one is where all the crime happens. So this is also another reason why I don't like to buy it overseas from different countries. It's because countries like Italy has a mafia going on, and a lot of mafia sell olive oils that could be just a blend of vegetable oils. So if you do choose to buy your olives online from a different country that's close to you, stay away from the suspiciously cheap stuff. Ask them questions like if the olives are organic or not, heat or cold press, how the olives are collected by hand, machine, or left until it naturally falls, what type of olive are they using, when the batch is made, if the olives are produced by them or gathered by a range of farms. The people that produce this stuff should be able to answer those questions quite easily. I would also try to get single variants olives as well personally, and olives that only come from a few selected farms, preferably only one farm. It adds better traceability and gives less room for error. If I'm buying from a supermarket, I really want to know exactly the farms where those olives are from. In addition, I prefer glass bottles over the plastic ones. So with that out of the way, let's discuss whether you should choose a small local family farmer or the humble business. And it doesn't truly matter at all. If you're local, you get the opportunity to sample things out and find what fits you the best. A downside to family farms though is that they don't have qualifications, nor do they attend rewards. You sort of just have to take the word for it. If they say it is organic, then you pretty much just have to believe them. Another common practice here is that the farmers have the trees, but they don't own the machines. They actually send the olives to a local factory for pressing, which introduces another point for error. I mostly find these farms on Facebook Marketplace, and the price differences aren't all that different from the certified small businesses around me. Overall, buying it from a small family home can be a mixed bag. There are the good and there are some bad. If you do find a family that produces amazing oil, then continue. It's an infinity better than whatever is sold in the supermarket. And yeah, I can say that quite certainly because I've tried every single bottle that I can find on supermarket shelves before the year 2021. I'm actually that insane. And from my personal experience, the better quality ones from the family farms are just better than even anything you can get from the local farmers market. As the farmers market people do need to supply oil all year round, they easily import things from tens and tens of farms. So you just lose credibility. I remember asking someone in the farmers market that sells olive oil, could you tell me which variety of olives you're using, if they're organic or not, and how were they picked? The people in the farmers market did not know any of those because they imported them and they just mixed it themselves. So in comparison to the supermarkets, the farmers market stuff is still pretty good, but yeah, it's probably like the worst out of the local options. The olive oil that I use right now are from small companies. As mentioned before, the prices are essentially identical to what is sold by families, and additionally, they do have certifications and have undergone testing to ensure the stuff is genuine. In addition, they are registered businesses, so they're less inclined to lie. A lot of these businesses are very open on their websites on the exact method of harvest and extraction. Overall, both sources are great options. They usually only use their own olives for the production, and they know their products really well. This is often not the case for the farmers market stuff, as mentioned before, so this is not me crapping on them and saying never buy farmers market stuff. If you get it good, you get it good. Alright, I have procrastinated on this section for long enough. So let's get into olive varieties. Oh my god. So I'm not gonna list every single variant out there because there's thousands. To simplify the differences between different types of olives, it really does boil down to phenolic concentration. A lower polyphenol concentration means a more milder flavor, less health benefits, and a greater polyphenol concentration means more flavor and better health benefits. Here is a list of the most common olive oil types and their corresponding concentrations. Fear not if your favorite olive type is not on here. It doesn't really cover everything, and the truth is, my favorite variety isn't included on this table either, and I'm sad for it. For the highest polyphenol count includes Cronecki, Cortina, Conicabra, Moraiano, and Piccio varieties as a general guide. Cortina seems especially promising, but around me I have not seen any of it, so I've mainly been feeding off the Coroneckis. For the early harvest, I got the Frantonios, so yeah, it's not really the end of the world if you don't drink Cortina every single day. Olive oil storage and handling, so that's the next portion. Overall, olive oil is actually a pretty damn stable oil, however there's a few things which you can do to decline the degrade of its quality over time. Let's look at this common scenario. A standard carbon oil on the cooking counter. It seems normal enough, yeah? Right, let's break it down. This bottle is placed near the fire, which means an increase in temperature every time the stove is used. The small raise in temperature may not seem like a big deal at first, but it can degrade the precious EVOO. Well, I should say precious in quotations in this case, I suppose. Degrading the oil quicker is kind of wasting money, so just put it away from the stove. On that note though, both heat and cold temperatures should be avoided. It's not ideal to put the oil inside the fridge either, as condensation might occur and ruin the flavor. 13 to 25 Celsius appears to be the best temperature for the oil, and if you're speaking American, it's 55.4 Fahrenheit to 77 Fahrenheit. So there you go. For myself though, I like to keep things simple and store all my oil in a cool dark cabinet. I buy oil 2 times a year, once at the first harvest season and another batch at the normal harvest season. Second thing that is wrong with this image is the open lid. This allows for 2 things. Firstly, contamination from whatever else around it, and oxidation of the oil from oxygen. So ensure the lid is airtight in between uses. Third is the direct contact. Contact with light also causes oxidation in the oil, so that's why placing it in a dark place like a cabinet is important. One of the good things Cobram actually does is that they use tainted glass for the bottle, which probably helps with the oxidation a little bit. Well, I should say they use stained glass on everything besides the first harvest stuff, which is probably the one that actually needs it the most. But at this point, I don't question this company anymore. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers and bye.